forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Leroy Lucero, along with Michael Carlisle of 610 The Sports Animal fame. Excuse me,
okay?
I just got a little frog in my throat.
You all right?
Yeah. Well, it was the fame thing. It choked me up. It's like I'm here next to brilliance.
I understand.
Well, you know,
It's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, lots of good news. Of course, we missed last week's show because there was some big news that came up.
Right, I had a big press conference to go to.
In New Mexico, and so we didn't get a chance to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on at the University of New Mexico and Albuquerque. So I figured we'd probably spend some time talking about that.
Sure.
NBA playoffs in full swings. Your favorites, the Cubs. What place are they in now?
Second, I believe.
Second place. So they're coming along just nicely. Well, I guess I used to like the Dodgers a lot. What place are they in?
Either second or third in their division, yeah.
Yeah, but they always choke at the end anyway lately, so it doesn't even really matter, right? They're like become the Dallas Cowboys, the Tony Romos.
Is there anything you do like?
Oh, I like a lot of stuff, dude. I love the Lobos. Really getting into
they
Lobo.
don't choke.
Yeah, I know. Really getting into Lobo basketball these days. Also, soccer is really well. I love watching some soccer.
All credibility. Right out the window.
Straight from Spain, dude. It's the bomb.
Straight from
It's
Spain.
Awesome. Straight from España. You got to watch it. It's good. Not Española, but España. You know.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. You got the reference? Okay,
Yeah.
good. What else you guys got going on the show these days?
Lots of stuff. You got a big DWO wrestling event this weekend.
That's right.
So, yeah, all kinds of stuff going on.
Tommy Dreamer, right?
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer will be in town. ECW original, the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer.
Nice. Also, Comic-Con is this weekend, is that correct?
Yeah, there's Comic-Con, Duke City Comic-Con out at Embassy Suites, I believe.
Embassy Suites, and I believe for wrestling fans, it's Jake the Snake Roberts and Diamond Dallas Page, is that correct?
That is correct.
Let's see if I do it right. Is that right?
That's more the Jay-Z.
Oh, is it like that? I can't remember. What was DDP?
It's the same thing. Dude.
Yeah, right. It's like, that's
same.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought. Jake the Snake he just had the snake.
You don't need to do hand gestures when you have a snake.
Yeah.
Your job is to hold on to the snake
Let's
to make sure it doesn't get away.
Let's see if you remember wrestling trivia. What was Jake the Snake's name?
Damien.
Okay, you do remember. Very good. That was good. From Stone Mountain, Georgia. Yeah. We had a Lobo that was from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He was before your time, Terrence Mathis.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. He was from Stone Mountain, Georgia. I always, for some reason, after Jake the Snake, anytime you hear of anyone from Stone Mountain, I always think of Jake the Snake.
Sure.
Got to go get an autograph, maybe. I don't know.
There you go.
Have to see what's happening. Also, Netflix. What's the show called? We talked about it.
It's not a show; it's a documentary.
Documentary. Thank you.
The resurrection of
the
Jake
resurrection
the Snake,
of Jake the Snake. A lot of these guys get into some.
He's had a lot of
pain and some demons and
outside the ring issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was he the one with the hip, or was it Razor Ramon? I don't remember with the hip.
Oh, I think they've all at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Because Mick Foley's out with a hip replacement surgery, isn't he?
Yeah.
And do you remember when we went to DWO, was it last year, when Don Vitelli took that bump to the hip? That was pretty bad. So Tommy Dreamer's coming, fighting Hobo Hank, correct?
Yep.
So that ought to be a good one. Obviously, the whole crew's going to be there. Got to get, and yes, I don't work Saturdays anymore, so I get to make an appearance. I don't think anyone wants my autograph, though. They might want yours.
So are we just turning the whole show into like a video diary of Leroy's life?
Well, no,
his memories.
I'm
his
just happy,
upcoming
dude.
plans?
I'm just happy. Has anyone ever asked you for an autograph, Michael Carlisle?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For radio stuff? Did you have a baseball, a card, a bobblehead?
A shirt.
It was a shirt?
Yeah.
Was it their kid? A girlfriend? No. No, just their shirt? Can you just sign? Oh, I bet you it was one of the 6'10", we don't call it Super Bowl, bowl bashes. Was it one of those?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, see?
So there you go.
I know. I follow you guys. I know what's up. I remember the original bowl bash. I remember the original 1-year anniversary of 6'10". It was 13-10 then, I believe.
At some point in time, we're actually going to go somewhere with the show, right?
I don't know. Are we? It's kind of got that Seinfeld thing going, you know. It's a show about nothing.
You're no Kramer.
I'm not. No, I'm not. That was the best I could do for a Kramer impersonation.
Do we have Rusty this week?
We do have Rusty the
that's
Sports
great.
Clown. We also have Micah Frankel coming in. He has a guest coming in to talk a little MMA. So that's always cool. And like I said, we will talk a lot about some of the stuff that's going on with the University of New Mexico. Lobo baseball teams on the cusp of winning the Mountain West Conference. As they was it 2 out of 3 or sweep of Air Force this weekend? I can't remember.
I think it was 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay, so they beat out Air Force. They're doing well. UNM's added another recruit in, a power forward that originally had signed with New Mexico State, got his release, and then decided he liked Paul Weir so much. And Mark Shu, I believe is the way it's pronounced. Yeah. Is it Mark?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
I'm more focused on the last name and getting that right. Shu.
Shu? Yeah, Shu, HSU, yeah. Right. So is that Houston State University? Shu? Just, I don't know, it just hit me.
I'm about to just hit you.
Good thing we have this thing blocking us. Otherwise, Mike is going to go over a la Jim Everett.
Yeah.
But anyway, they signed a new player. We'll talk about that. Also, University of New Mexico picked up a little bit of coin last week. That's why we were off the air. We were at the press conference. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And we can even go deeper if you want. We can go across the pond if you want. If you still want to bring that story up, we can talk about that. Anyway, all that and more. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and reset my brain, which hopefully that doesn't include Michael Carlisle throttling me. We'll be back right after this on Red Menace TV.
It's a 2-1. And Little could have put this up to left field. And this one gone. It's a 3-run shot by Grant Little. And just like that, Texas Tech right back in it. To right field. This is deep. That gone. The solo shot. Orlando Garcia. Goldberg first. The line fires a fastball, and this is belted to left field, deep at the wall. Capella can't get there, and it's a 2-run shot for Hunter Hargrove. This one smashed to right field, and it is gone. 3-run bomb, absolutely hammered. And
Coming on the dive, makes the play.
Nice play.
Put a star on that one out and left. Still going back. And he makes a running catch in right center field. What a play by Tatum. Put a star on that one.
West Conference play. Where who's going to go here? This belted out to center field deep. I don't know. Luis Gonzalez all the way up the right. This is hammered to left field. Looking up is Grant Little, and it's gone. A 2-run shot, a 3-run shot. Excuse me, for Carl Stajahan. And it's 11-8. How about the 11th bomb this year for Carl Stajahan? On the fire, and this one is blasted deep to center. All the way back at the wall, and it's a solo shot for Jared Mang, straightaway center. He bombed that baby. And the furthest part of the ballpark, Tom.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Samantha.
Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year.
Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you.
We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico.
Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
Garden Sort's Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Give you that. Passing it off to you. Hey, the show's on. Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV. We're just doing some craziness here, silliness off the camera. Something serious that we want to talk about. Last week, of course, we missed the show. We didn't have the show because we were at
Dreamstyle Remodeling.
Remodeling, which will soon become Dreamstyle Arena. And
well, Dreamstyle Remodeling will still be Dreamstyle Remodeling, but University Arena and University Stadium will soon become Dreamstyle Arena, Dreamstyle Stadium.
I met you there at the press conference. We kind of hung in the back, lay low, sure, guys. We didn't want to be all with the pretty people up front. You know, there was the media members that were there because they had the business media as well as the.
There really weren't a lot there. Media. There were a lot of people there, actual media people there. There really.
You
weren't
think
a lot
so?
there.
I mean, I saw like the usual suspects, and then there was a few people from KOB and KRQE and KOAT that were there, but they were the business side. They weren't the sports people.
Right.
So I think that had a little something to do. Anyway, the University of New Mexico receives a $10 million.
It's 10 years, $10 million for naming rights, and that is a huge deal for the University of New Mexico. This, of course, the reason why they asked Wise Pies to step aside from the naming rights for the pit. No, look, this is great for the University of New Mexico. It's much needed income. It's naming rights for both venues, and for all the talk about this being a basketball town, and yes, it is. This deal came together because of football.
Yeah, and we talked about you and I talked about this off the air, and I know there's been on social media a few things. I know Jeff Grammer kind of wrote something about it, but really, and Mr. Chavez talked about it during the press conference. He talked about the trips to Rutgers, to the Cotton Bowl when the Lobos played Air Force. He talked about spending the New Mexico Bowl with Paul Krebs' wife during the game. He also spoke about some dinners and some other stuff that they kind of did. And then, of course, they're building or redid the offices or finishing up the offices in the football. And it was Coach Davey and his staff that kind of worked this and kind of put that together as they had Coach Davey up on the podium or on the staff as well.
Yeah, no, it was Coach Davey and Jalen Dominguez from the Lobo Club. But yeah, all this came together because they being Dreamstyle Remodeling was donating money, or excuse me, donating materials and labor for the renovation of the football offices, and which grew into going on a couple of football trips, which grew into maybe I'd like to have naming rights for the football stadium, which grew into, well, hey, how about this big deal, both venues, and just really came into something really huge.
I think it's awesome, and we had Paul Weir on a couple, it's been about 3 weeks now, and he talked about how it is important for football to lead the way.
Sure.
He said that's the way it's done all across the country, that it could happen here. I think this is the first time that we've actually seen that, not just words, but actually in play now. Obviously, he went and spoke with the football team after he was hired, and then now we see where he kind of, now obviously he wasn't here when the negotiations started for all of this, but still they didn't, he was kind of in the background, and it was all Coach Davey and I'm sorry, it was all Coach Davey and Krebs and the president of the university that were up there talking about the deal.
Yeah, no, and again, it's funny because we've had people calling in on the radio show, well, it's not that big of a deal, it's just $10 million. It's just $10 million. It's the biggest donation in UNM history. It is a huge deal for the University of Mexico. Exactly. My response is, really? It's not a big deal?
You should have told them, hey, can you come hang out at the Carlisle Abode and hang out? If it's $10 million is not a big deal, maybe you can throw me a few table scraps.
Yeah, something, right?
I mean, I'll take table scraps off $10 million.
Absolutely, but no, it is an absolute huge deal.
Absolutely.
Last Wednesday was a great day for the University of New Mexico.
Oh, outstanding day. I mean, we saw it when we talked to everybody. After you had left, I think you had left, I spoke with Paul Krebs and Coach Davey for a little bit, and Cole McCamey, and all the people that are associated with UNM, Lobo Club, the foundation, and everything else. And all we talked about was exactly that, how big of a deal this was for the University of New Mexico, how it's going to help them. And you know what? You brought up Wise Pies, and I know they've caught a lot of heat, but we got to thank them too. I mean, they did give ultimately $800,000 to the University of New Mexico in the naming rights.
Right, and no matter what you thought of that naming rights deal, the bottom line is UNM got $800,000 off of that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten.
So let me ask you something, because, and this is just the way my mind thinks sometimes. It's kind of weird, I know. Taco Bell's established name, because Boise State's Taco Bell Arena. Wise Pies, okay, they're not established name, but I mean, was it really, I mean, back in the day, would it have been that weird if you named your place Taco Bell? I'm just saying, I don't understand why Lobo fans and New Mexicans took such a hatred to that name. I don't get it.
I don't think it had anything to do with Wise Pies or Wise Pies being a relatively new business. Honestly, more than anything, I think it had more to do with putting a name on the pit and it being called something other than the pit.
Okay.
Even though, ironically, the Wise Pies deal actually put the pit into the official name of the building.
Right. Yeah, but it said the pit on the old, before they did the remodeling, it said the pit on the corner.
Sure it did. But the official name
still says the pit, though.
Right, but the official name of the building was University Arena. With the Wise Pies deal, now, again, it depends on how you feel about the wording of it, but it was Wise Pies Arena, a.k.a. the pit. The pit actually became a part of the name, but people were so up in arms. And look, I get it.
Yeah.
If you've been here a long time, if you're a lifelong Lobo fan, I understand the backlash, but the fact of the matter is that's doing business in college athletics these days. In any sort of athletics, professional, college, what have you, naming rights deals for facilities.
And honestly, I mean, so really they paved the way. I mean, they took the brunt.
They took the lumps, yeah.
Because Dreamstyle would have probably taken the lumps had there not been any.
To me, yeah, if this Dreamstyle deal was the first deal and it happened 3 years ago, I think you'd have the same backlash.
And then Wise Pies came on the back door and be like, thank goodness it's named Wise Pies because this is so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the way fans think. I don't know. I don't know why that hit me, but it did. But once again, it's $1 million. Larry Chavez is the owner of Dreamstyle, and he said at the conference, at the presser, that he did not like the AKA, but that they were looking at ways. And I think I heard him, I can't remember if it was on your radio show or on Jeff Symbietta's. I think it was Jeff Symbietta's in the morning on 610, talked about that they have their graphic designer looking at different ways to incorporate the name and a logo with the pit involved.
Sure.
If they're going to use the name the pit, which I think they probably will. Of course, Larry Chavez is a lifelong resident of the state of New Mexico. His brother coaches football. Judge Chavez, he's at Valley now, so you'll see them on Proview, obviously, this upcoming season. He's been at Cibola, he's been at Highland as well, so a well-known coach here in the state of New Mexico. They're a sports family, and obviously he liked football, and thank goodness for that. Thank goodness Bob Davey, who is all of a sudden putting a mark. Yeah. Culture change. There's a potential culture change.
And not only that, yes, it's $10 million over 10 years, so it's $1 million a year. But a portion of the money each year will actually go to the university, not just the athletic department. And I know this first year, part of the money is going to Pope Joy, UNM Children's Hospitals,
and the Anderson.
and the Anderson School of Business. So not only does the athletic department benefit and reap the rewards, but the university does as well.
Oh, absolutely. Now, we talked about this a little bit, and I'm going to go back a little bit. Obviously, this came on some not new. Well, it was news, but I mean, it wasn't like.
It was news.
Yeah, but it was a report about a trip to Scotland by the University of New Mexico. We know that UNM ultimately paid for it, but I guess it was a Lobo Club-based trip. Is that the way I understand it?
It was a fundraising trip.
It was a booster trip for boosters, obviously.
Well, yeah, they were trying to fundraise. Look, the trip in and of itself it was actually very smart. And I said this on the radio show, I'll say it here, Paul Krebs should be commended for coming up with different ways of trying to raise money. Was the trip successful? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. The issue with the trip comes in with the fact that public funds were used to cover Krebs' expenses, Craig Neal's expenses, and Cole McCamey's expenses.
Yes.
It's a fundraising trip. The trip should have been paid for out of money from the UNM Foundation,
right? Whose
sole responsibility is what? Fundraising. Exactly. That's where the issue comes in.
So, I saw the report on KRQE. I get it. I mean, it's just like, and I know you can't go back or whatever. We've heard but just sign the $39,000 check, send it, get it over with. Let's move on. Or has Albuquerque moved on? I mean, have Lobo fans moved on? Has everybody moved on now with the $1 million that come from Dreamstyle and kind of like I asked
10 million
or 10 million?
Big difference. You said million.
Well, it was $1 million for the year. Sorry.
Right.
Has everyone moved on from that yet, or is there still people holding on to that?
Honestly, the day that the Dreamstyle deal was announced, as huge of a deal as it was, and a great day for UNM, more people wanted to talk about the Scotland trip.
Sure. Well, people like to talk crap. There's no doubt about it.
Well, no. Whoa. It's not talking crap. It's why did the UNM, and saying this is legit. And look, I'm all about applauding UNM when they do good things.
Sure.
And the Dreamstyle deal is huge. Kudos. It's not about crap though, Leroy. It's about using public money to fund the trip. It's about the athletic department paying for a UNM Foundation member to go on the trip. First of all, the UNM Foundation should have been paying for all of it.
Right.
But why did the athletic department pay for?
Yeah, no,
I
get it.
Look, and there may be legitimate answers. UNM seems a little less than forthcoming on those, and I do understand some of the reasons why. There may be legit answers, but the questions need to be asked. And that's not crap, that's
mess.
But people wanting answers, and deservedly so.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I get it. I do. I understand. I don't know how many of these other, and maybe not with athletics, it could be with academics as well, where something like that happens. I mean, we know the former president went to China searching for students. I don't know who paid for that. I mean, there's certain other trips and different things that people go on that I don't know. I'm just curious. So that was last week. You said the day of the Dreamstyle.
Mm-hmm.
So let's fast forward to this week. I mean, you've had a couple shows this week already. Are people still talking? Well, are they talking about any of it?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, it's summer.
Yeah.
So it was. I mean, was it just a good coincidence that the Dreamstyle deal popped up at that point?
Honestly, yeah.
You think it was just a coincidence?
Yeah.
Or it wasn't some good timing by?
No, because look, dude, the Dreamstyle thing had been in the works since way back into football season.
Well, it was so funny because
because actually, and I hear what you're saying, but I think you're completely wrong on this. I think the Dreamstyle announcement got overshadowed by the Scotland stuff.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that.
So no, it wasn't a matter of, hey, let's put this announcement out so people will ignore the Scotland trip thing, because if that was the case, then it failed miserably.
Yeah.
So no, it is what it is. Look, and again, UNM does a lot of good stuff. Timing is not their forte.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
it's
2 weeks ago the big story was
because look, if it's about timing, you get out ahead of it, and the day you send out the release announcing that you've asked Wise Pies to step aside
is the day
that's the day, and here's why they're stepping aside, because we've got this new huge deal, $10 million over 10 years. If it's all about timing and getting the timing right, that was the time to do that.
Well, they did say that they had something coming when they asked Wise Pies to step aside. They did say we have a bigger deal coming, a multi-facility deal.
Do you know who else spent a week saying they had something coming?
Who's that?
Larry Barker.
Oh, that's true, right? Ooh, look at you.
Well, no, and I'm just saying, no.
610 wants to know.
I think people want to know. The fans want to know. Donors want to know. The citizens of New Mexico want to know. And I don't think there's anything. Look, I'm not over there beating down doors at UNM. I'm not an investigative reporter. But
we could take the video camera and we could. No,
we could, but
it would be funny.
It's not wrong to ask those questions.
Yeah, no, I get it. For me, I guess it's just not that big of a deal. It's just not. I mean, it's not.
You don't think it's a big deal that the president fired the man who was investigating his ties to Russia, do you?
Because I don't believe there was ties to Russia. So
okay,
yeah,
so
I mean, if you want to go there,
well, no,
I don't think that's. I don't wear the tinfoil hats, and I don't wear I don't have pretend news, and I don't have all these. I'm not waiting for the dudes in black helicopters to come either.
So that's my point. If it's something you like, then it's not a big deal.
No, I just think sometimes people think that some things that aren't a big deal, they try to make a big deal out of. And in this day and age, and that's a great point that you brought that up. Take it to that thing. I think we're media, sports fans, all people now. We're into this gotcha sort of thing, and I just don't think. I mean, okay.
Okay. As it relates to UNM, you could not be more wrong. It's not about gotcha. Look, I want UNM to be successful.
Sure.
I travel on the football broadcast. It's a lot more fun coming back from games when they're winning. It's a lot more fun going on trips when they're winning. I want the university to be successful. I don't want the university to use my tax money or public funds in ways they shouldn't be using it. It's not a got you thing or anything like that. It's a legitimate question. Why was this money used? Why wasn't Lobo, UNM Foundation money used? There's nothing wrong with asking those questions. It doesn't make you anti-Lobo. It doesn't make you a bad
I'm not
person.
saying you're anti-Lobo or I'm not even saying Larry Barker is. I get what he's doing. He's making his bread like everybody else is trying to make their bread. I'm just saying when it comes to $39,000, when we're talking the overall budget, and if it's just $39,000, then maybe it was a legit error. Or a legit whatever. They said there was a wrong listing put or whatever. Maybe it was mistake?
No. The wrong listing thing was when the deposit for the trip was listed as basketball tournament
in Scotland. Or Ireland, yeah.
Ireland, yeah, because it was in Ireland.
That's right. Well, you know, Ireland's a good place. Anyway, we're going to turn this over to Micah Frankel. So Micah Frankel is going to talk some MMA, and me and Mike are going to go box or wrestle in the back room and talk about this, I guess, more. Because you brought up Donald Trump, dude. Come on. You're not supposed to do that. I thought that was against the rules. Anyway, more Red Menace TV.
Oh, I don't care about the rules.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque. Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203.
Garden Sorts Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. Welcome to Caged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. This week, joined by Jackson Wink amateur fighter Chris Rumble Rojas. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining us this week. Amateur 4-2 right now. You started in combat sports kind of with the wrestling background, started off high school wrestling. When did you know you wanted to try to go get punched for a living?
You know, I've always loved the UFC, so I didn't know that like Jackson Wink was in Albuquerque, so I figured that, you know, why not go out and try it? And then I did one practice with Chris Luttrell actually at Mean One MMA, and then I was hooked. I loved it.
Well, what got you hooked to MMA and the UFC first off?
You know, just watching it, the UFC prime times, you know, like how they train and everything, you know, like just something unique caught my attention about it. And then transitioning that from wrestling to MMA, it just kind of got me hooked.
Talking about the UFC, we do have a UFC coming up this weekend, UFC 211. It is a stacked card, I believe. What do you think of it?
Yeah, definitely a stacked card. We got a bunch of good fights on the main card. Even got Eddie Alvarez on the prelim card.
Right, Eddie Alvarez. Is it just me, or from a fan's perspective where you're at, would you say this is kind of his back's against the wall right here? This is pretty pivotal, coming off of the loss to Conor and now taking on a Dustin Poirier, another young, charging up-and-comer. I feel like he's kind of got the back against the wall, right?
Yeah, I'd definitely say it's like a win-or-go-home situation. You know, maybe he might get cut, maybe he might not. You never know with it.
And then for the rest of that card, going up past that onto the main card for pay-per-view, kick off with the former title challenger, Henry Cejudo against Sergio Pettis. I know Sergio's made some stops down here. Have you ever had the opportunity to train with him?
Yeah, actually I have. Sergio's a great guy, man. He's a really, really good striker, really good wrestler, all around a good fighter.
And in breaking down that fight, I look at it as almost as long as Henry, who's an Olympic wrestler, has been wrestling, is almost as long as Sergio's been striking. And I feel that he's pretty fast on the feet, pretty clean. I think you've gotten a chance to see that before.
Yeah, definitely. He has good head movement. He moves real well for his size, really quick.
So I think there is a good chance he could spring the upset in that one. Would you be surprised by it?
I wouldn't be. I think Sergio can do it. I just see Cejudo coming in for the takedown, bull rushing him, and I can see Sergio stopping it and getting the knockout.
And then in a fight that could lead to the next welterweight title challenger, you got Damian Maia versus Jorge Masvidal. Said you've been a fan for a long time. These are two guys you've watched forever, it feels like, right?
Yeah, Masvidal is coming off that win against Cowboy, so Cowboy's no joke. So I wouldn't be surprised if he beat Damian Maia, but I don't see it happening.
It'd be interesting to see if he can thwart the continuous wrestling attempts and transitions of Maia. As we've heard, he's had this, you know, killer strength grip that's really done him well since moving up to 170. We got two title fights on that card also. Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Few champions have been able to defend a UFC title as many times as she has. She looks to do it again against Jessica Andrade. Andrade, she has a powerful punch. That's her avenue to victory. She has that one shot, but in 5 rounds, I think that Joanna's too much. Too much length, too much skill, too much well-roundedness.
Yeah, definitely. I think Joanna's going to outlast her easy. She's just going to look for that knockout punch that she always looks for. And if she finds it, you know, who knows what will happen. Maybe she will, but it's doubtful. You know, Joanna's too good for that.
And then the main event, a rematch from UFC on Fox 13 back in Phoenix, Arizona, many years ago. Stipe has won 4 in a row, has the world title now, defending against Junior Dos Santos. The two best boxers that we have in the heavyweight division at this point are going to be going toe-to-toe. The last fight was tending in the direction of Miocic towards the end of it. I think his momentum and compound with Junior's inability to stay healthy and really consistently perform, I got to go with him still on that fight too. What do you think, Chris?
You know, I've been a fan of Stipe for a while, and I remember watching that first fight, and it was a war, but obviously I think I gave it to Dos Santos as well. But this time around, I think Stipe is going to dust him. I think he's going to get the knockout and beat Dos Santos and keep the title.
So we've talked about what's coming up this weekend. You guys got to tune in. There's a 5-fight card on UFC Fight Pass for the prelims. And then the prelims move over to FX. Got to keep reminding everybody that so you're not looking for it. And then the 5-fight main card pay-per-view. Now as to why we bring you on today to talk about you. I also heard that you got some breaking news, though, to announce.
Yeah, man. I will be fighting June 17th for a title, 135 title belt in Clovis, New Mexico on Art of War MMA, I believe it is.
It is Force of One Fighting Championships, and the event will be Will to Win.
Yeah, Will to Win. And
Will to Win.
Against Isaac Cifuentes.
Do you know anything about Isaac yet?
I looked him up a little bit. He's just a one-punch guy, you know. I honestly think I'm gonna dust him. I think I'm gonna take him down, submit him, or if he wants to keep it on the feet, I'll keep it on the feet and knock him out. So I just have confidence going in. I'm gonna go in there, handle my business, and get my belt.
Now, as an amateur making this run, what is it like in the position you're in? You still have to have a job. You're still training as much as you can to prove you're ready. You're taking fights as much as you can. Tell us about this journey, being an amateur.
It's busy, man. It's busy. It's 6 days a week, you know. I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym, lift and run, go straight to Jackson's after that, take a little bit of a break, chill for a bit, go back to Jackson's, and from there I go straight to work. And then after that, I might go get a strength and conditioning workout in about 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
You expected this was going to be hard. You can expect this was going to be a grind. What has been the unexpected, though?
The unexpected is all the friendships and the memories I made along the way.
You didn't expect that to come the way it has?
No, not at all. I've made some really close bonds and friendships with coaches and teammates.
Now, what about traveling? I know you've done some of that. What's those experiences been like, the long car rides, and you have to put in the miles literally to get through some of this?
Yeah, they're definitely not fun, but I mean, those are where the memories are made, you know what I mean? Having a bunch of laughs with guys going to fight, your coaches, your teammates. I mean, being stuck in a car sucks, but I mean, once you win and get that glory, it's kind of worth it.
You've been a wrestler, so you're used to the grappling, you're used to the mental tenacity, having to be there because of weight cutting. What was the hardest part, though, of MMA, putting it all together for you to pick up?
The hardest part for me to pick up was probably the striking, but, you know, I felt better than I've ever felt before, you know. I honestly could say I feel like a striker. I'm in the gym, you know, actually hanging with some kickboxers and Muay Thai fighters, and I'm actually comfortable on the feet, you know. If people want to keep it standing in the fights, I don't have a problem with that. If I'll take them down if I need to, but if I don't, then you're going to sleep.
I believe the first time you got to use that striking, really get out there and do it, I think I was there ringside. It was Steel Dragon Fight Co. back in Silver City.
Yeah, man, that was my second kickboxing fight. That was a pretty fun experience. Yeah.
Now, what is it like from the wrestling, getting out there, doing those smokers, and having to sharpen those tools, your hands, your legs?
You know, it's like when you see improvement, it feels like everything's cleaned up, paid off. All your hard work's paid off, and it can only take you so far in practice. You know what I mean? You can say you improved as much as you want to say that, but until the fight comes, you really can't say anything. Once it pays off in the fight, then you know everything's paid off and your skills have really improved. Once you use them, you get that first knockout win or that first submission win, and you've been working so hard on that striking or that grappling, that's when you know you really improved, is when you make it happen under the lights, not in the practice room.
And how frustrating can fight night also be if you don't perform the way you want to? Because I've seen that before where you've walked away saying, I could have done more, I could have done more.
Yeah, you're always going to want to say you could have done more, but I mean, there are those nights you're going to have where you actually could have done more. And it's in that cage, man, you just got to make it happen. You know what I mean? You just got to, even if something's not working for you, you just got to make it happen. You got to grind. You got to find a way. At the end of the day, you just got to find a way to win. No matter if it's pretty or it's ugly, you just got to win.
There's been the ups and the downs. How do you push forward? How do you keep on?
I'm just going to keep doing what I do, work harder, get better in every aspect, no matter if it's grappling, wrestling, striking. I'm just going to keep getting better overall as a fighter, and I'm going to continue to win. You know what I mean? And then eventually here soon make my pro debut and make my run there.
Now, I know you're coming off of a loss. Got to bring it up. Took one on short notice, and you jumped up a couple weight classes. Let's never see you at lightweight again. But what was that experience like? Short notice, bigger guy.
It was definitely not a smart decision on my part. Let's just say that. The weight class was, I didn't think it would make a difference from 135 to 155, but the boys at 155 are big. And it definitely I felt that right off the bat. I took the fight on I think 4 days notice. I went down to Austin, Texas, weighed in, didn't have to cut no weight. Went to the fight. I got pushed up against the cage, and I just was thinking to myself, damn, this is a big weight cut. this is a big weight difference. Yeah, he's strong, definitely. I almost got taken down, but I didn't. I just fell into a submission that I shouldn't have even been in the first place. And that was that, you know. I can't make excuses now. Just go on forward, improve on what I need to work on.
Is it easy to look back at it and just take what it was and learn from it, or does it burn a little, the competitiveness in you that it went?
Oh yeah, it always burns. I hate to lose. I absolutely hate to lose. And but you know, what can you do about it? The way I look at it is you got to look in a positive way. So it's better I made this mistake now as an amateur than as a pro.
And what is it like having this journey and progressing as a martial artist at a world-class gym like the Jackson Wink Academy? You have pros everywhere. I know I've seen Joey Villasenor, Nick Gonzalez around you, many others. You have all these high-level fighters to pick their brains and to learn from.
Oh yeah, it's great, man. Definitely. Joey's a legend. You know, he's been around forever, and so is Nick. You know, just hanging around those guys, getting every ounce, like every detail out of them from what they show me is just make me a better. It makes me a better fighter every day. You know, every little bit of what they teach me, I try and take in, process, think about it that night, and come in and put it into my sparring the next few days.
Chris, got to thank you for joining me today. And last off, for the fans, can you tell them how they can follow you on social media to keep up with your career?
All right, yeah, on Twitter, Rumble Rojas _145, and on Instagram, Rumble _Rojas 135.
Awesome, dude. Thank you. And we'll be back to more Red Menace TV after a quick break.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Hey, it's me, Rusty the Sports Clown here for Red Menace TV. Now then, here's some weird left-handed news because, you know, I'm kind of left-handed sometimes. Knights in medieval times, they were forbidden from being left-handed. I don't see what the big deal is because, you know, I'm left-handed. Okay, how many of you have ever wondered why brides are always on the groom's left-hand side? Well, the reason was, it's so that the groom can keep his sword hand free to fight off challenging suitors. Yeah, go figure. My wedding wasn't that tough. All right, time for sports break. Hey, sports break. How many of you saw Larry Barker? You know, Scary Larry. He's the guy that does all the special investigative reports. Well, he had a report on the UNM trip to Scotland. Bad UNM, bad UNM. Apparently, they spent school money to pay for this fundraising event, which was primarily UNM and, you know, associated foundation people. Also, it was listed in some accounting files as a basketball tournament in Ireland. They didn't even go to Ireland. I don't get this. Anyway, it was weird. Now, if the foundation had paid for the whole thing, there wouldn't have been a problem. But since they used money out of UNM's coffers, yeah, badly, that's not a good thing. All right, I don't know why, but that's how it works. All right, strangely enough, though, the year that they did that was only one of 2 years that they actually made money in the athletic department. But we're, you know, pitching a fit anyway, because that's what we do. We're New Mexico. Yay! All right, how many of you heard about the Pit? They changed their name again. They're no longer AKA Wise Pies. No, they have a new name. Larry Chavez, owner of Dream Style Remodeling. He's the guy, you know, that puts additions on your home and does cool stuff, makes your bathroom look better and things, you know, new toilet paper and stuff. Good job. Okay, he is going to pay $10 million over the next 10 years for naming rights. Okay, it's going to be Dream Style Arena and Dream Style Stadium. Cool places, huh? All right, now then, in the agreement, $9 million out of the $10 million will go to athletics. $1 million is going to be split between Pope Joy, UNM Hospital, and the Anderson School of Management. Awesome job. Good job. Okay, if you need a home remodel, you know where to go to now. NBA news. Shocker. Yeah, Cleveland and Golden State, they sweep, and they're going to advance to their conference finals. Yeah, didn't I say that like 3 months ago? All right, moving on. NFL news. A couple more Lobos have been invited to camps this month. Yeah, okay, linebacker Ryan Langford, he's going to the Texans, and Carlos Wiggins is going to the Jets. Now, in the paper, it was weird because it showed Wiggins going to the Texans, then he decided to go to the Jets, then the Texans called back, and it said he was going to go to the Texans, but it still says he's going to the Jets. So I don't know where he's going, but he's going to be a pro also. Okay, and Marquise Bundy, he's going. Guess where he's going? Yeah, we don't know. It's the Cards. That's who. Okay, good luck, Marquise. Lobo baseball, stressful weekend. Okay, Lobos have to win their last 3 series. This was the first one. They played Air Force. Air Force, every guy on that team can hit the ball. Every guy. They just can't pitch real well. Okay, so the Lobos, they were hoping their pitching was going to hold up. Friday night, yeah, they were up by 7 runs and lost. Yeah, go figure that one. So, stressful. Saturday they win. Sunday, stressing out again. Air Force is making a comeback. Lobos hold on and win. So, Lobos win the series 2 out of 3. Good job, Lobos. Keep it going. Stay in first place in the Mountain West. All right, Kentucky Derby news. Sadness. Sticky didn't win. It was horrible. I know. I was rooting so hard for him, but, you know, he was sitting right next to me. He wasn't actually in the race, so it was kind of hard for him to win, right? Yeah, that's what I thought, too. Anyway, yeah, shh. Thank you. All right, moving on. We're not quite there yet. Okay, now then, in something really cool, Larry Chavez, he bet on the horse that won. The horse was Always Dreaming, you know, going along with dream style stuff. Now, in that bet, he bet $100. He won $545. 500 of it, he's splitting up between all these different UNM properties, Pope Joy, the hospital, you know, all kinds of cool stuff. Now, he's saving the $45 for a pizza party for his employees. What a cool guy. I like him. All right, in weird news, Usain Bolt, he's like the world record holder, runs the fastest 100 meters ever by anybody at any time and stuff. Yeah, he likes his chances against Always Dreaming. Yeah, okay, I didn't know they were going to race, but, you know, oh well, that's what he says. All right, high school stuff. We got a ton of high school stuff. Okay, it's the state championship time of year. We have tennis, okay? In boys, okay, La Cueva beat El Dorado in the 6As. In the 5As, it was Academy over Los Alamos. Now, this is an unbelievable stat, guys. Academy has won the state championship in 5A tennis 15 years in a row. Can you believe that? Amazing. All right, 4A, it was Robertson over New Mexico Military. Now then the girls, we've got 6A, El Dorado over Albuquerque High. 5A was Los Alamos over Farmington. 4A, Robertson over Mesilla Valley. Moving on to track, we had the small school championships, okay, so you got to be little to be able to go to the small schools. Isn't that how it works? Or is it just the schools are small? Yeah, I don't know. They're small schools anyway. All right, Melrose won the 1A track championship. Hagerman, 2A championship. And Tucumcari, the 3A. Now, Elida's, you know, I hope I'm saying your name right, Carl Burton. It's spelled K-A-U-L-L. So I'm going to say Carl. We're going to hope that's right. Okay, he set a state record in javelin. That's where they take this thing and they throw it like that, kind of, only it's longer and it's, you know, pointy and stuff and could hurt somebody if you catch it wrong. Okay, he threw it 155 feet and 11 inches. That's a state record for 1A guys. Okay, Animas High School's Job Soriano, 1A state record in the 300 intramural hurdles. Or intermediate hurdles. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Do they stagger them or what? But anyway, 300 meters worth of hurdles that he did in 40 seconds and 78 seconds. And yeah, 40.78 seconds. It's kind of hard to say when you're reading it wrong. Okay, another kid, Jared Lee, he shattered the 3,200 meter record. Okay, now get this. He did that on Friday. Saturday, he breaks another state record in the 1,600. Okay, he ran the 1,600 in 4 minutes, 49 seconds. The previous record was 5 minutes and 5.01. Yeah, good job. All right, 6A track. Okay, this is a shout out and congrats. Okay, get this. Coach Rivetta and Atrisco Heritage, they took first in district. I know, very cool. Now then, here's what's going on. We have 2 standouts in the pole vault, okay? One of them, Chris, he's for the guys. He qualified for state. And for the girls, get this, Jenny qualified for state, but she also set a school record of 7 feet. Good job, congrats, and good luck at state this next week. All right, high school baseball. Okay, baseball, that's where they swing things like this, bam. Okay, first round was best of 3 action. Cleveland High School, they almost got upset by Mayfield. I don't know, go figure. They had the biggest win on Friday, winning 8-0. Then, 2 games on Saturday, they lost. 13-7. Second game, they had to do it. 15-14, they pull out a win. Craziness. All right, now then moving on. We have, let's see, Rio Rancho over El Dorado, La Cueva over Oñate. Here's the upset. Valley beat Hobbs. I know, down in Hobbs. That's like a 19-hour drive to get to Hobbs. Okay, maybe it's only 6 or 7, but it seems like 19. It's a long ways down there. But they pulled out the win. Carlsbad beat Albuquerque High. Let's see, Piedra Vista over Atrisco. Volcano Vista over Las Cruces. Those are your teams moving on. Good job, guys. Good luck. Okay, 5A. This is my team. This is my team. Team Jared. I talked about them last week. Remember Jared? He's the kid that, you know, had leukemia, and now he's beating it, and he's coming back. And the Alamogordo Tigers, go team. They swept Bloomfield. That's the team to watch. Go Tigers. All right. Now then, a little closer to home, Bernalillo. They beat Las Vegas Robertson. Good job, Bernalillo. All right. If there is an event, a game, a meet, or a match, or, you know, whatever, you know, some kind of state championship thing, what do I always say? Just go. All right, I welcome you to follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me to a Lobos game or a state championship event because, you know, I'm very famous. So, guys, until next week, that's all Sticky and I have. We'll see you next week.
Rusty rides off in the sunset there, Mr. Carlisle.
Yeah. He sure did.
You should probably get Rusty and Mike Trujillo to meet. Imagine the conversation you'd have there.
I'd prefer not
to. Once again, Red Menace TV, Lee Riley started with Michael Carlisle. Hey, we're coming up to the end of the show, but I definitely want to talk a little about the Destiny Wrestling Organization. Yep. Give us some information. Where are they wrestling this Saturday?
Yeah, the card is called Ultimate Jeopardy. It'll be this Saturday, Westside Community Center. Matches start at 7. I believe the doors open up at 6. The main event, DWO Heavyweight Champion Hobo Hank takes on ECW Original and the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. So that'll be a lot of fun.
You like Tommy Dreamer, right?
Of course. I was a big ECW fan back
big
in the day.
ECW?
For sure. Johnny K takes the former DWO Heavyweight Champion takes on Manny Lemons. You've got Chad Thomas versus Joe Quesada, just to name a few. But yeah, ton of action. You go out there a lot, Leroy. You know it's a ton of fun out there.
Oh, it's a blast
for DWO.
I'm so excited because they switched my schedule when at the place I previously worked, and I hadn't been able to go, and I've really missed it. You know, but now I'm ready. I'm good to go. Saturday. I wish I had like a unicorn horn or something. Nah, I don't.
I actually.
I know you got one. I just tease it. I was just seeing. No, but it'll be good to get back there because we've had Hobo Hank on the show quite a few times. We look forward to having him on the air and some of these other guys. Also, you can catch DWO's show here on Proview Networks as well as on the YouTube network as well. You could catch their half-hour show every Monday night is when they when they run it. So. Definitely give it a check. It reminds me, as a young, I know you don't remember this because you weren't living here then, but back in the day, Mike London used to have Texas World Wrestling, I believe is what it was called, or they drew from Texas, and they used to play at the Civic. They used to wrestle at the Civic Auditorium, where the Heart Hospital is now, there by Loveless. It used to be St. Joseph's, and oh man, Mike London was a little dude like this, and he. You know, the Funks would come, the Freebirds would come, old school Ricky Romero. You got to be really old in Albuquerque to remember that name, Ricky Romero, the Cyclone Negro. But it was a blast every Sunday morning. It used to be before NFL football, and Tarzan was all wrestling. I can't remember what it was called now. But it was a wrestling show, kind of like you had a WCW when you were a kid growing up. Sure. We had wrestling with Mike London. So that show, kind of looking at it the first time, it brought back memories of that for me, watching the show on YouTube, DWO. Sure. But if you get a chance, Saturday, what time?
7 o'clock at the Westside Community Center.
And then also, always stay tuned to Michael Carlisle on 610 The Sports Animal if you're a wrestling fan, because I know that you have a ton of local and national wrestlers that come on any given day, especially when we start getting closer to the card. Hey, we got to wrap up the show. Thanks to Micah Frankel for all he does. Also, Alden, we got rid of the other name. And for Michael Carlisle, I'm Lee Riley Sarah. We'll see you next week. Until then, God bless you all.
Hello, mate. It's me, Rusty the Sports Clown. Just kidding. I don't speak French. Check me out. It's going to be so much fun. See ya.
Watch Rusty the Sports Clown debuting in May on Proview Network, Comcast 26.